you remember when you joined up?
As I say, when I joined up,
Yes, when did you join up?
41, wasn't it?
I think it was 41.
I think it's, which sure is 41.
Yeah. How old were you? Do you remember?
I haven't the faintest idea, Joe.
Maybe 19 or 20 or?
I was, I don't know for just for sure how old I was. It must have been 19 or 20 at the time. Must have been.
Yeah.
I know I was more than 18
Yeah.
and that. And no, as I say, but
Where did you remember where you went for basic training?
Colchester.
Ah.
Yeah, League 2 barracks, Colchester.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I did my basic training. See, then I went actually to what they call number 2 battalion
Yeah.
at Woodall Spar in Lincolnshire. See,
Yeah.
and that's where I then went from there to North Africa. See, then through North Africa, then to Italy.
Where were you in North Africa? Do you remember?
No, it was just the latter end. It was only just the latter end of the North African campaign when we went there and that.
So was that in Algeria? Were you in Algeria?
Well, actually, where we landed, it was Oran.
Oran.
Yeah, Oran Bay. That's what's the name of that country?
I think it's either Algeria or Tunisia, isn't it?
We landed in Oran Bay. Don't you know?
So we'll find out.
But yeah, then as I say, then we travelled all the way up North Africa, right up to the Suez Canal.
Yeah. How did you travel?
Or transport, trains, buses, that, and then, as I say, went up the bridge there. That's when we went across to Salerno, wasn't it?
Yes.
That's where we landed in Salerno. Well, then,
in Italy?
that's it. Then we more or less went all up the centre of Italy to we got to what the river, what they call the Grugliana River.
Yeah. Were you marching or how were you travelling then in Italy?
Well, that was all on foot from when
it?
we landed at Salerno. See, I was all on foot right through and that.
Yeah.
I don't know how far it was or what, as I say like that. Because that's where on the Grugliana crossing, see, because that was a massive big river, see, now.
Yeah.
That's where I lost part of my finger. That's where I got a very.
Did you not have to? You had to wait for a time, didn't you, at the river because it wasn't it in
Oh
Spain?
yeah, because yes, it was in full flood. See, I can't remember just offhand how long we had. We had to wait, but I can remember. I had had this finger off.
Yes.
On the 18th of January, when my birthday's on the 14th. I always remember that date when I lost my finger.
Yes.
And then, see, I went back then, I was in hospital and convalescent.
But when you went, I remember you were sent to the medicals people, and you had your coat. You said your coat was cut through. Do you remember that? When you had your finger off, somehow the shrapnel had cut your coat.
Oh, that's when we went to the MDS.
That's right. Tell us about that.
Because I went to first aid, first of all, and they said, we can't do nothing here. They said, we're being shouted, we can't use no light and that. But they said, you go up to the top, there's an ambulances waiting.
Yeah.
I'll take you to the... I went to the MDS, and I had the biggest scare of my life.
Yes.
Because we got into, it was all dark, we just got into somewhere where there were lights on them, see?
Yeah.
And I spotted my great coat, and I spotted this slit all down him.
Yes.
And as I say, I gradually opened that bit at a time, got to my blouse,
Yeah.
he split, went right through then, through my shirt, pullover, shirt, down to my vest, and looked to have it. As I opened my vest, my stomach wasn't marked.
So it caught all your layers of clothes and it hadn't touched you.
Yeah, I was just as if it'd been run down with a razor then. The razor
Yes.
wouldn't have cut in there.
And Stan, was that the same bit of shrapnel that took your finger off?
Oh,
you don't know?
I've no idea.
No.
Oh, because I had this mortar bomb explode just in front of me. I still claim if I'd have, well, I couldn't actually fall down at the time because I'd got a big water set on my back, see? And what, I don't know what, 38 set or something like that. I'd have powered down. If I had a power down, it blew me head off. It was that close. The blast came to me face, it's like that.
Yeah.
And where I had my hand, oh, no saying where I had my hand. That. But the funny thing was, that compound fractured that finger,
Yeah.
and just touched the top of that one,
Yeah.
and never touched his next one.
Amazing.
And then, as I say, went to, and I said, number 1, Bristol Hospital. Then I went to number 2, Bristol Hospital. And then, what do you call it, I don't know how long I went back, went up for convalescent.
Yeah.
See, like that. Well then there was the angio landing, see, that was above Rome, and we had the angio landing, and after that, well, when they withdrew us out, there wasn't enough there to make a company. That's when they were saying that we were actually coming home for the second front.
Yeah.
See, because the D-Day hadn't started in those days, and when we finished up back at out in Egypt, to had 500 RA blokes here for training for infantry.
Were you doing the training then in Egypt?
We were trained. Well, actually, because we were experienced soldiers. See,
Yeah.
We had these what they call Royal Artillery men that used to be on the Suez Canal defence zone. We trained them for infantry.
Oh.
That's what it come to.
Mm.
And as I say, we got then we loaded up again, and I can't tell you actually just where we landed in Italy now. Not to this very day. I don't know where we actually unloaded this boat, because that's when I met the 2 Bampton men.
Oh, who did you meet?
That was most peculiar. See, I was actually on what they call Orlagan guns for air defence, you know. Well, I came off at 6 o'clock that morning, because our quarters was the ballroom of this liner. Go to look, someone stole my razor. I was going round, and all at once, who I should meet was George Bishop, who used to live up here. See?
George Bishop?
Yes. He said to me, he said, what are you on for? I said, looking for a razor from somewhere. I said, someone nicked my razor. Well, there was another chap, you know, that used to live in Bampton. He said, well, Merck, he called him, see, but it's actually Charlie Brooks, my name. He said, I think Merck got 2 or 3. I said, so we went down and down, about 2 decks down like that, and they paid him in there, and he gave me a razor.
Yeah.
And you know, I never saw a glimpse of them afterwards. I never actually, they weren't in our regiment because, you know, there were several lots of regiments there.
But you were in the Ox and Bucks, weren't you?
Yeah, 7th Battalion.
Yeah. But George Bishop survived the war, didn't he?
Yes, George survived, yes, and this,
Charlie Brooks.
Charlie Brooks used to live right on New Road there, but he married and he was living in London. And yeah, I don't know what regiment they were in, I don't know more than you. They weren't in our regiment. But this is the most peculiar bit of it. Going back to the time when we were in Egypt, we were on the campus, seeing tents, see there like that. I was walking down this road one day, and a bloke coming up the other way like that, started looking at me. And what he said to me, how long have you been here? I said, well, I said, we landed over here. It was Roy Stroud.
Yes.
They used to be on from milk marketing board in that. And he's Bampton man. But he was in the same regiment, but he was in a different company.
Right.
See, and that. And funny thing was, after we landed, I don't know how long it would have been we landed. You know, and I never see him because he was in what they call headquarter company. See, we, you know, never used to hardly see anybody of them. And but now, wait a minute, I'm getting lost.
Well, we were in Egypt.
Yeah,
and then you're back to Italy.
And we got back when we went back to Italy. Well, see, they were well above Rome then.
Yeah.
See, when they were well above.
Can you tell me? You remember the white glove story?
The white one.
The white glove.
Yeah.
That was soon after you got that.
That's good. Yeah. That was when we was moving. All the old regiment moved.
Yeah.
See, being I was what they call D regiment.
Yeah.
See, we were the last company, the D company, rather. We were the last company to be behind. There was all, I don't know how many hundred went by. And as I say, I happened to glance outside my eye like that. And all at once I said, oh! So, what's up? I said, there's a steel helmet come out the ground over there. They laughed, see? And at the time I didn't know whether I was imagining things or not.
Yeah.
So Sergeant said to me, he said, where? I said, across there. Oh, I don't know, I made me yards away, you know. So he said to me, he said, you give me a cover with a bread gun, see in case you do that, like that. So when we got across there was this pit all covered, see, with camouflage netting. He said, the sergeant said to me, he said, give a burst over that pit, and you know, so I give it just one burst like that. Nothing happened. So he said, give it another burst like that. And all at once, a little white glove came out, like that. So they went up to him like that, snapped the camouflaging back like that, and he eventually come out with two white gloves. And, yeah, he come, and because the biggest joke was then amongst the chaps, wasn't it? Look at that then. The German army are supplying them with white gloves now.
What was the reason he had?
Well, we've always reckoned, see what it was, he was what they call an OP, observation point, see, like that.
Yeah.
Well, they reckoned the idea, instead of using wireless to inform the artillery, it's semaphore, see. See, they reckon that was the idea of it, and that.
Yeah.
And as I say, I don't know how many hundred went by there, and as I say, I said, because they laughed, see, everybody laughed. I thought I was going, off
So
the top.
you're seeing things?
And seeing things, you know.
Yeah.
And as I say, yeah, if you hadn't looked up just that little bit,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have noticed it. And as I say, there is a possibility on that I could have saved hundreds of lives.
Yes.
Because as I say, if he'd have sent a force through to the German artillery,
Yeah.
like that, they could have shelled it to, anywhere then.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that.
I think your next thing is you're either taking or you're defending a hilltop. Was that after that?
Yeah. Wait a minute. I got it. That's that instance that the taking of that place called Germany.
Oh.
Yes, as I say there, with that, all other companies have been trying to attack this village all day long. And we've been to be the reserve company, it's our turn, the last turn, saying that. And that's where you had to walk over bodies where the snipers were shooting fellas going past a gateway.
Yeah.
Well, we eventually get up into this village itself, and it was on what they call a sunken road. See, that's where you got where it had been cut in the hillside. Well, we got very near into the village itself, and there was a German come round the corner with an automatic and just fired into us, and I was the only one that never got hit. Well, after the emotion sort of died down for a few seconds, I seen my officer, he'd been hit in the hip, so I sort of dragged up Mr. Ward, crawled up to him then, rather, and he was all hit in the hip. Well, I got to put my hand in his field dressing pocket, see, because we carried a field dressing in a little pocket.
Yeah.
He hadn't got one. So I get mine out and undid mine, and they were actually in a canvas case first of all, then you like that, then about 2 or 3 layers of waterproof paper and all that. Well, eventually I got to it, got to him, and as I say, I got this field dress and put on there what best I could, because I heard German talking above me and down the side of me.
Yeah.
Well, I eventually get him sort of tied up the best I could, and we'll put it that way. We got him the best I could and that. And I went to move in, and there was a sniper hit the road about 2 feet away. I just pushed him back in, and I pulled myself back in again, because if we were actually like luxuries of it, we were actually like a lay-by then.
Yeah.
See, when we were in this lay-by, he couldn't see us, but when I went to move him, he see us. Well, that happened twice.
Yeah.
And in the end, I said to him, I said, I just have to get help. I said, I can't get you out. I said, like this. And that's when I sort of crawled away, and it was getting dark at the time. That's when I got to a bamboo fence, broke these canes, a few at a time, and got through, like that. And I got out onto open country. It was dark then, it was really dark then. That's when I sit down and open my emergency. We carried what they call emergency a box of chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to have permission from an officer before you actually did it. But I was that hungry. I just get there, open it. I sit there like that, eating this chocolate, and the artillery opened out, and they were going over me like that.
Both sides.
Both ways. And as I say, you hear these people say about, they can tell the difference between German artillery and British artillery and that. But I tell you what, they had to be good then if they did. That's all I can say, and that, because I couldn't. But as I say, I was just in between the 2 lines of them as they were going over me, see, like that. Well, eventually, I thought, it was coming dawn then. I thought, well, I've got to make a move somewhere or another, because I didn't know whether I was in German territory or in British territory. I didn't know. That's when I well, I must have got onto a rock face, and I slid.
Yeah.
I slid and landed on a road,
Yes.
and there was a bloke stood there. I don't know whether it was German or whether it was British bloke or whether he was dead, whether he was alive, I don't know. But I tell you what, Bannister wouldn't have caught me that then. Well, I guess actually get to a river,
Yeah.
and he was getting, you know, well, I'm to look up this river, and I see there a mill. Oh, could have been a half a mile away, or a mile, I don't know there offline. So I thought, well, I'm not got a chance going up there, you know, in case it's a German L, see. So I done more. I goes into this river, and I swam out the other side, and I got into a little field, and all at once I thought, well, I hear someone talking, see, like that. So I eventually gets up to this hedgerow, and looked like that. And I thought, what it is, that's British helmet, see. Well, I get through this hedgerow and get there, and it happened to be our carrier section.
Your carrier section.
Yeah, you know, it was what drove the carrier, see, you know. And so I had no idea where the company headquarters was then. I said to my one of the blokes, company headquarters, they said, down that farm down there. So I went to get down. Who the first person I met was there with the RSM, Regimental Sergeant Major. Well, God, he said, where have you come from? I said, just got out to Marnie, I said. Lieutenant Cutting, I said, up there very severely injured, I said. I tried to get him out. He said, carrier sections have been up, carriers have been up, see, So he said, you go to the cookhouse, he said, got some grub, he said, got a blanket, he said, look, so you just about had enough of it. So I went there that morning, and I had some food, and got a blanket, and there was a shed across to the trail, got in his shed, got down, and I must have slept all that day and the next night.
Yeah.
I go to the cookhouse, like that. When the cook said to me, he said, that was in here last night, wasn't it? I said, well. He said, well, where was you then? I said, in that shed over there. Well, he said, didn't you hear anything? I said, no, I never heard. Good. He said, look, while we're getting in some grub, he said, let's go and have a look. There's a shell, and they cut the corner of the shed off.
And you didn't hear?
No, I never heard nothing. No.
You were that tired, weren't you?
You were, as I say, well, I never noticed it when I first got up, and, you know, nothing.
Stan, there's something I want to ask you, because you're in this village where there's a lot of your battalion has gone, hasn't it? And you're stepping over bodies. How many got killed in that battle?
I have no idea.
Was it hundreds?
No, I have no idea whatsoever. That you know, of estimates and that, because no, because.
And you've had 3 or 4 near misses yourself, haven't you?
Oh yes, I've been. I bullet in my back.
Yeah.
See, I had a bullet in my back now, and then.
But were you ever afraid, or you just?
No, you get used to it. You do. You wouldn't hardly believe it. I tell you what, I don't mind admitting. The first time I came under artillery and gunfire and that, I was just froze. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But I really never took no notice.
Amazing.
No, they say you get used to things, and you blooming well do too.
Did you ever feel sorry for the other soldiers?
No, there was actually only one person. Funny you say that, you bring that up, I remember my name. After we went back to Italy, I should imagine somewhere this could have been January, February time of the year. And there was a bloke come up to me with a ginger moustache. And he was a bloke. you know, 4 years older than me.
Yeah.
See, and he happened to say to me, he said, you know, how long you been out here? Oh, I said, I don't know, about 18 months now. Oh, he said, I was home at Christmas. I said, look at you then, that's right.
Yeah.
I said, look at you now. And I don't know if I ever spoke to him again like that. Well, we were up on a hilltop one morning, like that, and that's when the Germans came in there. That was when trace of bullets would fly across the place like fireworks then. Well, after all sort of died down and that, so there was about 3 of us. We went round and that. There he was, led in the ditch. Dead as a doornail. And you know what, that's the only fella I ever took sympathy on. I don't know why.
Yes.
Yeah, because he come up and just spoke to me, I suppose. That's all there was to it and that.
Yeah.
And, yeah. No, over...
Well, you've just got out of your shed alive, having had that deep, deep sleep. So what was the next adventure you had?
Wait a minute, oh no, there was one thing I often wondered, but you know, like that.
Yeah.
As when we, what they call house clearing, that's when you go in and that, and that's where I went up the stairs with a Bren gun, further as I went up like that, and there was a fella following me behind, kicking the doors in, throwing hand grenades into the room. You know, I've often wondered, you know, who was in there, whether there was nobody then.
Yeah.
And that was the same time as we'd done all this, it was got dark, we was all just stood there like that. We see 2 fellas coming along the side road to us like that. And all at once, a German, there were 2 Germans, he opened up with an automatic.
Yeah.
That's where he hit the sergeant directly in the stomach. I tell you what, you never hear anybody screaming in all your life.
He didn't survive.
No idea. See, they was took to hospital, and you know, you never knew
Yeah.
what happened to them and that afterwards. You know, you never knew that. No, then as I say, there was. That's right. And now I got it. Now I put this bit together. It was after the Jamarny. That's right. It was after the Jamarny case. That was when I was transferred to the 26 Queen's Regiment.
Yeah.
Like that. And that's when we put this night attack in to capture this village. And as I say, I'd never heard such ridiculous talk from officers and all, but that's when I swore at an officer.
Really?
I tell you what, well, I was with like what they call company headquarters, she was them, and that. We got into this one room, we got into this village all right, like that, because all we said is we'll have this company headquarters. No, we hadn't been in there sitting down, hadn't been in there about 10 minutes before an hand grenade came through the window, didn't it? I was out of here, see, like that. Well, we got out of there.
And you all survived that?
No one got scratched. That's funny, that's peculiar that one. But see, those German hand grenades haven't got like the power like ours, the British ones, and that. Because they were only like tin boxes. We went up this road a little bit and got into an old cottage. This cottage stood totally on its own. Oh, it got daylight. This was I always remember is this major. I said before that. This major.
Yeah.
Opened the door, and about 100 yards away, there was 2 Germans. Got about could have been 12, 18 British blokes. Now. he just out there went with an automatic.
What your major did?
This major with his automatic. I said at that time, you know, I won't use the word I used to say, and
You told him off, did you?
I did it. I said, we had it. I said, we had, oh no, he said, we'll get up here, he said, we can get back to into our own lines. We were only 6.5 miles forward in German territory, weren't we? Well, it looked up at the back of this building, there was like a small doorway. We got out of there and, alright, going along this edge road, I looked down into one of these big trenches, defence trenches they dug, you know, like that.
Yeah.
And there were Germans walking about down there. This is God's word truth. God strike me down this second if I'm telling the truth. I got a hand grenade off my belt because all I got was 6 grenades round my belt.
Yeah.
I pulled the pin out and I looked down and something told me to put that pin back.
And now is that because you thought you're just going to advertise the fact that you're there?
No, that's God's word truth.
Yeah.
So I put the pin back in, put it back on. Well, within 10 minutes of that happening, what happened? There was a machine gun opened out there. One opened out like that and one opened out like that.
Yeah.
See, if I just dropped that grenade over that there, well, they just splattered us to,
Yeah.
see that. Well, that was the time when I tell you, a wormwood got under my belly, I don't mind admitting, like that. And there was this silly major, got on his knees, opened out with his automatic against a machine gun. Well, obviously you're asking for it, aren't you?
Yeah.
They just splattered him. He was hit 18 times.
So he didn't survive, and you
No.
did.
And no, and as I say, next I knew, there was this big German stood over there, come, he said. See, I thought, no good playing heroes now, you've had it. That's what thought went through my head.
Yeah.
No, and as I said, the next we know, as I say, we was put on a train there, and that's where he finished up in Lambsdorff in Poland.
How long did that journey take?
I have no idea. But I tell you what, Joe. We was at 30, luck should have it, we was at the Brenner Pass.
Yeah.
It'd been sort of drizzling and rain. Because they never gave us nothing to drink or nothing whatsoever. We were catching the drops as it came off the roof of the truck.
Yeah.
And drinking it.
Yeah.
See that? Well, we went to like a centre somewhere in Germany, like that, where they, you know, you registered and all that, and give your registration number, you know, and that then finished up in, and finished up with Lambsdorff in Poland, and well, it wasn't all that long because I got an idea it was in September when we were taken prisoner. I think it was September. And I will never say whether it was the last week of December of that year or the first week of the January in the following year, 45, wasn't
45,
it?
yeah.
That's right. I would say, and that's when we was on the road then. From then, that's when we were sleeping in snow. We were walking along roads where the vehicles were buried. We were walking on top of snowed-in vehicles.
Where were they taking you?
And well, some always said it was 1,000 mile we walk, but what it was, because the funny thing is, in the review of St Dunstan's, there's one old fellow just died, and he reckoned it was 800 miles, see? But whether it was 800, whether it was 1,000 miles, I do not know now. And so, well, sometimes we was actually having was bought up cabbage when we did have some then.
Yeah.
Or as I say, we was eating anything we could find, potatoes, just as they were.
Out of the ground.
And potatoes, let's see, what else?
They have turnips?
No, there was no turnips, mangoes and sugar beet, that's right. Because sugar beet, they're nasty, you mustn't have not too much sugar beet. Or mangoes are alright,
What's the matter with sugar beet?
Oh, yes, I call it, it's soon to give you dysentery.
Oh, right.
And I call it, because some of the blokes were ill over it and that.
Yeah.
Then occasionally, we used to get a slice of bread.
Yeah.
But, it might be only one a week. And I swear blind, and I think I got to the bottom of it, I swear blind then, that was sawdust, coloured sawdust we were eating.
Yeah.
Because you could find it. And the funny thing is in one of the reviews, one of the old soldiers talking about it.
Yeah.
And then as I say, that was April 12th. President Roosevelt died.
Right.
I think you'll find
I'll
out.
look it up.
12th of April, 45.
Yeah.
I've got an idea of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's about 4 hours, because we all split up into little groups. See,
Yeah.
that's where we went back up into this village.
Yeah.
That's where one bloke kicked on the door, this big house and like that. Bloke come to the door. He said, "Come on," he said, "your turn in the stable tonight." He said, "We're coming in there."
Now, are you guarded?
Pardon?
When you're being marched along, have you got guards with you or what?
Yeah, oh yes. There was guards all the way like that.
Yeah.
Because at one part there was guards. Well, I thought they were more or less like, well, civilians, like our own guard then.
Yeah.
But they weren't in uniform.
Oh.
Just had civilian clothes now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where we had. That's where we had the big lamb. There was one old fellow, I don't know how old he was, big tall bloke, big tub hat on that, got an old big mortar rifle like that. That's when the bloke picked one big sunflower, like that, and stuck him in his barrel. Well, as he walked this old sunflower, we happened to go through this village, and there were some women and children there, and they were laughing, and he kept looking round, he more or less knew they were laughing at him, but he couldn't make out what it was, see, first of all. Yeah, and the war hadn't finished when we were released.
Right.
No, because I know we was on this road out of this little village, and all at once, a mile away I should say, we see a load of tanks tearing along, see? And I know there was a South African, I think it was, said, "Was there anybody here could do semaphore?" So one bloke said, "Yeah." He said, "I can semaphore." Well, he said, "Look," he said, "better than not of us all going out into that field, because if that was German tanks, they'd turn around and say you're trying to escape, they'd shoot you."
Yeah.
See, that's how it worked out. So we said, you know, all volunteering, so I just halfway across this field like that. And I don't know what they had for semaphore in, but it's got some rags or something like that. And all at once he come back. Yeah, he said, they're American tanks. He said, well, in the, what I call it, all at once, as I said, we heard this opening out of a machine gun, like that. Next we knew, there was the biggest American I had ever seen, come walking through with an automatic, like that. I mean, you know, they got all these fur-lined coats and that on. He looked his boy, he did, yeah, honestly did, he was big. Well, and as I said that, that's when we split hospital, like that. And that's when we went to the town department, or whoever he was, I don't know. That's when we had the horse and cart, and we loaded up, and away we went.
It was a horse and cart belonging to the farmer?
Ah, yeah. And that. Because, so more or less, we sort of kept watch or big guard all through the night, you know, what was happening and what not. See, because we didn't know, we didn't know actually, well, anything what was happening then, really. Yeah. So, we get to the horse and cart, and the big bloke come, he said, anybody ordering this horse up? So the bloke said, yeah, he said, yeah. He said, no, there's a lovely horse in there and cart. He said, our best thing. He said, no, 2 horses rather, sorry, 2 horses. Yeah. He said, because they had as a pole to the horse each side of the pole. Yeah. Like. And he said, all right, and so I said, what we'll do, we'll get up and that, and as soon as it's the dawn, he said, we'll load up and we'll be away.
How many of you in the horse and cart?
I couldn't be correct. I wouldn't know whether it was 6, 8, or just how many. I don't know what I'm doing that. Well, we went more because see, this American said. He said, nowhere have been cleared. He said, but he said you follow that arrows backwards. See, because they to mark the route out. See, they put a marker down every so often. Yeah. And he said, follow back. We get into this town. I know it's the Hertford.
Hertford?
Yeah. God, you never see place. Well, the bulldozer was just there pushing the stones not apart so traffic can get by. Yeah. Well, we get up to sort of a crossroad, this horse and cart, and an American policeman stood there, see? So we said, you know, any chance of, you know, any transport coming back through? Yes, he said, there's one due back through any time now. So I know one of the chaps said there was an old German stood there. He said, all these horses, we just left them stood there holding the horses.
Well, he'd be glad.
Well, so within half an hour, quarters to 3/4 of an hour, I don't know, convoy came through, see, like that. So we loaded up into there. Well, they pulled us up at in this village, and there was a big notice, all ex-POWs report here. So this is the place, so when we go to this house, there was just ordinary soldiers sitting there and that. So we said, well, I had to ask the major somebody, I don't know what the name was now. And he said he went yesterday, he said he's gone from here. So we thought, well, don't know where our next move is. That's when we took up the lodgings for the German people. Where we could get in, we got in that. So we made arrangements to meet the following day up on the main road again. Yeah. And there was a lorry came along, and as I said, I was that weak, I couldn't get up into the lorry. Yeah. Well, it took us to this field like that, and he dropped us. He said, you know, you've got to go in here, see, like that. Well, we're good. There were German fighters came in, so. Well, he said, this they'll be now by the Germans, but when we found out afterwards, as soon as this plane come in, they put crossfires over the top of him like that, see? And we could just give a start for boys, and that was it, and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they put us all into groups, that's what they said. Well, they said, we're sorry we can't give you nothing. They said, we'd much to be like to, but they said, you daren't have any, you know, and that's so.
Well, you mean you've been all these days of marching and you still haven't had proper food?
No, because their stomachs are strong. See, that's what they're afraid of. See, they said, you know, go and have a big meal and bang.
Really?
Say that, yeah, and so put us all into groups and that. Because, you know, there's one lot unlucky, one of the decoders, you know, going across the channel with a load up.
Terrible.
Yeah, and that. Well, they put us in groups of 18 and that. And the best of it was, wasn't long afterwards, they give it away to the tannoys, was there'd be no more planes coming in today because of the bad weather of the channel. Oh, it was about half an hour or so afterwards like that. Well, I said, oh, there's some coming in now, because they came in threes, see, these Dakotas now. Well, what they were doing, they were bringing in supplies, now, and then they put us in groups, now, and eventually our group come up, our lot, and that, we got on, and best of it was, you could either land at Wing or land at Broadwell, see?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking of Broadwell out in Worcester, wasn't I? See? I picked, I didn't know there was an airfield at Broadwell had been built while I was away, and that. So I picked, and as I say, we landed there, you know, went right through. You never brought nothing of this
decontamination.
Yeah. You never brought nothing out what you took in.
Yeah.
Everything. You went in and you picked up all new uniform and everything like that, medical and X-ray and all that and that. Yeah, the only thing you were allowed to use, they decontaminated them, was your discs.
Oh, right, okay.
They dipped them, and something like that. They dipped them, or everything else, you had to leave. Yeah. Well, it's because they were very frightened of typhoid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were, you know, they were, you know, a wonder of us bringing typhoid in.
Yeah.
And that. And as I say, went out to a camp, I don't know where, it's up in England here, I have no idea where it was now. There was a bed for us like that. There was a telegram on the bed, all that you got just put on there, you know, you arrived home and that on there. And that was sent off. Then the following morning you had your breakfast and you had your travel warrant, pay and all that. And you was on your way home.
Hadn't your father had a telegram already to say you were missing?
Oh yes, they sent them they knew I was back in England then, that's all we can say. And I happened to look at, because in those days, there was about 4 trains a day from London.
Yeah.
It wasn't this half-hour journey, you know, like that. And I walked in, I put about 6 o'clock that evening. They didn't know what, didn't know where it came.
Well, now how long were you, when you got to Wing and they decontaminated you,
Yes.
and they sent off the telegram, but then you were very weak. How did they look after you? How did you get your strength back?
Well, the way it was, yeah, you got to, let's see, where did we have to go to? That's when we had those special chocolate.
They fed you on chocolate?
Cubes chocolate it was now.
Yeah.
You had one of them a day, but then you gradually had, more and more, more and more every day then, as saying is now.
Yeah.
And as I say, you had then sick leave from April through to September. I went back, I don't know where it was then, had a medical examination then, and then I was, actually I put on discharge,
Yeah.
and then I had continuous leave then through to December.
What I want to know is, you get back to Bampton, your parents have had a telegram, they don't know when you're going to arrive.
No.
How did they greet you?
Well, I tell you what.
They put out the flags?
No, as I say, it's more of a shock than anything. And
Was it? Yes.
We'll put it in that, because they knew I was home and that,
Yes.
but knew I was in England then, we'll put it
Yes.
in that. And as I say, that's
There was-
I don't think there's anything else I've missed. Have I missed anything?
There was somebody you met, and I'm just trying to remember when you met him, who was from Bampton, and he said, "Do you know Mrs. Nettlefold?" Do you remember, when was that?
Oh, that's our company commander.
Where was that?
That's when. See this. We had our company commander, Captain, I don't know, got killed. And we had this new company commander come, Major Closebrook.
Yeah.
See? Well, see, when they have a new outfit like that, they give you a personal interview, everyone.
Yeah.
See? So when I walked in and said, he said to me, Bampton, Oxfordshire. I said, yes, sir. Do you know Mrs. Nettlefold? He said, at Bampton Manor. I said, well, not personally, but I said, yes. And he said, that's my wife's aunt. He said, before the war, he said, we used to visit Bampton quite a lot.
Yeah.
Then he said, do you know Mrs. Lovejoy, that's right, of Manor Cottage? Yeah. I said, well, it's the same for her, not personally, no. I know he said, she's a great friend of ours.
Yeah.
And, that's the name of that come about.
And the officer that you tried to help, the one that was wounded, and you tried to help him in the lay-by.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened to him in the end?
Apparently he died in hospital.
He died in hospital. Because you thought a lot of him, didn't you?
Oh, he did. He did me.
Yeah.
As I say, I was just, I don't know, blue-eyed boy, I suppose. Just put it each I couldn't go wrong.
Yes.
And no, as I say, when that was it 2 years ago now, wasn't it? That Heroes Return job was they've been run, wasn't it? People going out to the
Yes.
different battlefields
Yes.
and that.
Yes.
Saying I couldn't get no one to accommodate me, as I say. I could, you know, we could have went out there, you know, for nothing. There was so much of national lottery and so much the government gave.
Yes.
And, you know, give everybody the chance to...
And you couldn't go?
I couldn't get no one to go in that. Or I should love to have went northern Italy.
Yes.
Because there was one lot down for southern Italy and the other lot for northern Italy. Now.
Yeah.
Well, mostly I know more about northern Italy and I did actually southern Italy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, as I tell you, it was a shame then because I should like to went out there because they visited the cemeteries out there.
Yes.
And
that is a shame then. Maybe there'll be another chance, Dan.
never know, no, because apparently, you know, the big, I don't know how much national lottery they allocated a terrific lot of money in that.
Right.
And the government, I suppose, backed it up and that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no, as I tell you.
But when you got back to Bampton, I mean, you really liked the army, didn't you? And you wanted to go back in the army.
Oh yeah. That's when, that's when I got greatly disappointed, really, because when I was down, what they call downgraded, because see, all the bottom of my feet, the skin was all iron white.
Yeah.
See, I completely got downgraded in that.
Yes.
Or as I say, I like the army. You hear a lot of people groan and moan about it. I consider the first year in the army the worst that there is.
Yeah.
And see, there's another thing, see, Joe, is you hear people moan about, oh, the army food now. When I was down in Colchester, I tell you what, you couldn't wish for no better. Because, you know, you might have heard of it, people were on rationing.
Yeah.
Because always remember, when I come home on leave, you had civilian ration, they gave you a paper, you know, you took the shopping.
Yeah.
That,
Your ration books.
and that little 2.5 ounces of cheese. That always sticks in my mind.
For a week.
That's a week's ration.
Yeah.
And down at our mess, down there,
Yeah.
there was so much cheese being wasted, they used to cut up so much to a table.
Yeah.
Well, it got like that, there was so much being wasted, they stopped that, they used to have a round of cheese, they'd bring round, and what you want, you could have £2 if you wanted it out of there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And well, as I say, the cooking and that, so as I said, the roast and that down there, the roast meat, roast potatoes and that, is what you call it, is good.
I think you have got an amazing story. And you had so many near misses, didn't you? I think there must have been an angel just sitting on your shoulder. Don't you think?
Well, I'll tell you what, Joe. Now, as I say, you might think I'm talking silly, it could be silly, this could be, is I still maintain there's something yet man have never discovered.
Yes.
It is.
So you think you had a guardian angel as well?
Well, why wouldn't, look, why wasn't I shot? Why didn't that sniper come, what, that much closer twice to have hit me?
Or that grenade?
And there's a grenade.
There's so many times.
And there was that grenade and never got scratched.
Yeah, you were a very, very lucky man.
You see, and that, and what? Just the same as the point of survival of that walk.
Yes.
See,
hundreds died, didn't they?
Hundreds died. Now,
yeah. And you survived.
And I wasn't surviving. No, as I say, I don't know. As I say, you know, you might think I'm talking silly, but there's something yet that man haven't discovered.
Right.
About the world somewhere or another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've told an amazing story, Stan. Thank you very much. And what was also interesting to me is when it was all over and you came home and you'd got no work and you weren't going to be let back in the army and you started going down the pub.
I always say, but actually...
But then you stopped, didn't you?
No, I know, but actually what drove me to drink is, I'll admit, like that, was what drove me actually to drink was, as I say, was this leaf tree I had, see?
It was leave.
You know, this army leaf, you know, now, what, and where it was, well, you never think of these things. Every time, see, you used to have a letter come, your leave had been extended for another month.
Yeah.
See? Should you require further advance of cash, just fill a chitty in and send it in, and you know, have what money you want then.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realise, see, at the time, that was my gratuity money I was spending, wasn't I?
Yeah.
See? Well, when it come to finish up, I hadn't got a great lot to come, I'll tell you. But
Yeah.
no, if I'd been, what? Really not talking silly really now. As I say, I've been more careful
Yeah.
and not had so much blooming drink.
Yes.
No,
But you did stop. You did stop, didn't you? You stopped just like that.
that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
no.
was great.
As I say, look, that's the example. As I say, I went down and we had 12 bottles of beer of a Sunday lunchtime.
Yeah. And then went back in the evening.
And as I say, well, actually, I shouldn't think I drunk a pint after I got married. I shouldn't think I drunk a pint of beer a month
Yeah.
if I did that.
Right.
What? No, because no.
So is that the love of a good woman keeping you on the straight and narrow?
No. What my wife she had no interest in drinking.
Yeah.
I know.